What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're doing an Olympique Lyon rebuild. It's gonna have to be a rebuild as Memphis Depay is going to a big move away to Dortmund to replace Sancho. That all depends on whether Sancho goes to United. He's also linked with Barcelona now, as Ronald Koeman has taken over, and apparently has a lot of interest in him, which would be a nice move for Memphis. I don't know where he'd fit in though. And also Houssem Aouar, their sporting director, has said that he's gonna leave this summer, so they're gonna have to replace him. They have a few ready-made replacements like Maxime Cacaret at the club, so that's not as big as an issue as replacing Memphis Depay. Obviously, Memphis used to be a winger; he's now a striker, so I'm probably gonna buy a striker to replace him. Raphael, to me, he's surplus to requirements. He's deadwood. He's on a lot of money. He's worth a decent amount, but he's 28 now. Seems to be injured quite a bit. There's two other right backs at the club. It's about time he moves on, and him going to Leipzig, probably a nice little move for him. As you can see here, United, of course, come in for a bid of Memphis Depay. Obviously, they got that buyback clause in real life, so maybe the game's kind of thought about that, but obviously it's a really dumb game, so it's not going to be that. Obviously, asks for 57 million. They come back and say 53. I think I reply 55 million. Which I think is a bit of a fair offer for Memphis. He's done a lot in France. He's developed a lot. He's become a leader, and he obviously left for 55 million at the end of this week. Houssem Aouar now had a few bids coming from him. I couldn't get much money for him though, which is quite disappointing. But I think we got 30 million at Real Madrid eventually. He also did leave to Real Madrid, which would be a very good transfer, very fun transfer for him, because I think he's an excellent player. He's going to be very hard to replace. Obviously, I believe he's Lyon vice captain. With Lyon losing both their captains now, it's going to leave a bit of a leadership void. But you've got people like Marcelo, Anthony Lopez, even Moussa Dembele. He's a leader. They're top scorer in real life. There's some options here. The first man I want to bring in is the French wonder kid in midfield, who isn't Mbappe, is Camavinga. Obviously, linked with a few clubs in real life. He's still 17. Already a starter in the Stade Rennais team, and it makes sense to bring him in. Obviously, on this game he's still 16, but this season coming he'll be 17. Makes a lot of sense. The only problem is he wants an important player. I don't think he's going to get that because you have Thiago Mendes, who they've also brought in, and Bruno Guimaraes. So it's going to be hard to dislodge him. But if he dislodges him, I can see him staying in the team for a long, long time. Obviously, with this team, they're going to want to develop the players and sell them on for money. Use their academy. You got players like Rio Griffiths and Geary, who I want to give minutes to. So I just want to add to the new potential talent pool this coming through at Lyon. With Coop Miners, I have an idea to play a 3 at the back with 2 players that can play midfield on the edges at the centre back, to bring the ball out with a destroyer centre back who's quick in the centre. Coop Miners can play centre back, and that's why I want to put him on the left, as he's left-footed. I think it makes sense. He's good on the ball. He's good at passing. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's also a leader. It's the arse.al captain we're talking about now. Also an academy product from them, so he knows what it means to play for a club that's on the verge of becoming top. Hopefully we can dislodge PSG eventually. It might take a few seasons, but I feel like every team knows that. Every player knows that goes for a team that isn't PSG in France. Doesn't come in for a lot of money. It's kind of a relatively risk-free transfer. You're always going to make money on him, as you will with this man, Christopher Ayer from Celtic. Obviously, been on the wonder kid radar for a while now. Can play CDM, right back, and centre back. Cheap, £10 million. You pretty much are going to make your money back on him. He obviously joins the Scandinavian core we got going on here. Comes in a rotation, so he's not expecting to play every week, which is nice. He will be playing every week because I want him, as I said, as my idea for the other side of the defence on the right hand side. He might have to dislodge Christopher Joachim Andersen for the role, but eventually he'll make it his. I did think about bringing Nabil Fekir back because Lyon have lost their big 3 players in the last 2 seasons now, in this, theoretically. Obviously, he's just signed for Betis on this version of the game. so it's going to be difficult to bring him in the first season. So I'm going to bring in a man who used to play in France, gone to Schalke. Obviously, Schalke are in a lot of financial trouble at the minute, so they're open to selling players. And Amin Harit, very good technical player, can play on the wing if you need to, plays through the middle, good passing, good shooting. He does a lot of pressing, he's agile and nimble. So yeah, obviously Moroccan international. Not going to be on the biggest wages ever. Probably less than what Fekir. He's half the price of Fekir as well. Only problem is he won't have a homegrown player, but he'll be homegrown in the nation, I assume, because he's played in France where he made his debut, I believe. Asking for a big bonus from appearances, which is a bit of a shock. But he's going to have to compete with Jeffrey Adelaide, who they brought in, who's a very good, young, promising midfielder. Another promising player, this is my Memphis Depay replacement, is Myron Boadu. It was out of him and Edouard, but eventually I went with Boadu as he's one rating lower, 3 years younger, probably got a higher ceiling. Only problem is he's probably less proven than Edouard, as he's not come through PSG's academy and he's not played a lot of football in a league. He's played in Celtic. Boadu broke into the season last season, I believe, and since then he's done very well. But hopefully this is the right step up for him to hopefully make a profit on him eventually, because that's what Lyon do. He should be a good partnership with Toko Ekambi or Moussa Dembele. They all have different physiques, different types of players, so it'll be nice. See, the last sale we done before the end of the transfer window is Marcal. He's 30 now. There's a lot of players who are going for that position on the left centre-back role and left-back role. Obviously, you got Cornet and you got Kone. So he's kind of surplus to requirements. He's obviously a good player, solid, Brazilian, but I think it's time to go. And of course, after the transfer window closes, Leicester decided to bid for Bertrand Traore, and he doesn't fit the new system. Only play on the wing or right mid. And it's still a surprise he's only 23, but he just doesn't fit the system. He's declined in ability, it seems. He doesn't seem to be getting many games silly on in real life. Whereas when they had that front three, he was electrifying. So he also left the club. You can see in the mid-table mark, mid-season mark, in Ligue 1 was second, which is is amazing, to be honest. Didn't think we'd actually do that well, because we finished 7th in real life. In the quarterfinals of the Coupe de la Ligue, and Champions League, though, didn't go so well. Came third, and probably the group of death when you see it. You can see Benfica and Leipzig also really didn't play well. Only won one game. Didn't even beat Sligo twice, which was infuriating. So obviously, when you come third, you go into the the knockout stage of the Europa League, and we have Dynamo Kiev, which will be a tough game. And now, since we've Marcal's gone, I realised that we just don't have enough quality on that left-back role. So I was between Nico Schulz, who's not had a good season at Dortmund, and Jerome Roussillon, who is obviously French and used to play in the Ligue 1. I've gone for Roussillon, as he just seems like a more solid, more functional defender, more than anything. I think Schulz is good, he's fast, but he isn't the best defensively, whereas Roussillon is. So he's kind of the Benjamin Mendy replacement. Ferland Mendy, I believe it's his brother anyway. He's the replacement of him, who went to Real Madrid last season. You can see, still finished second in the league, 5 points ahead of Lille. Had a bad second second half of the season run, as we seem to have lost 5 games. Got knocked out by Strasbourg in the Coupe Nationale. Lost in semi-finals to PSG 1-0. No shame in that, though. And now this is the biggest disappointment in the Europa League. We got knocked out 2-1 by Dynamo Kiev, which is, it's just not great, is it? So there's going to have to be some changes. I'm not sure where. Maybe another striker who's a bit higher rated, a bit more experienced than Boadu or Toko Ekambi, because Toko Ekambi isn't fantastic in real life. On this game, he's done well. He surged in the second half of the season, got 14 goals, 30 in 35 games, which is very good. Moussa Dembele there, 16th in the table with 11. He's more of a creative spark, though. A bit like a Lacazette from a few years ago. Assists, Jeff Renee at Adelaide had 9 at the mid-table mark and still has 9 at the end of the season, which isn't great. He didn't really kick on. Moussa Dembele hit 5 assists. I don't know if he's on there. Second for clean sheets, so it was a nice season for Anthony Lopez. He's a very good goalkeeper. You're gonna do well to keep hold of him after his performances in the Champions League. And now we'll see how our players have developed. Lopez played most of the games, obviously. When Roussillon came in, he had a fantastic season. I believe he had a 7.7 average rating. Denai was injured. Yanga and Biwa left the club to Bournemouth on a free transfer. The ex-Newcastle man going back to England. A lot of our players got chances. Some of our youth players got chances, like Soleil and Kalulu. Aya played a lot of games. Dubois had a very good season. Kenny Tete played a lot. Coop Myers had a very good season. Most of our players had good seasons. Our strike force was not fantastic, so that's probably the area I'm going to look to improve. Probably I'm going to try and bring Fakir in if I do a second video of this. Kakare didn't play a lot, which is disappointing. Same with Camavinga, but his discipline was shocking. Renee Adelaide, 12 assists, 8 goals in all competitions. It's what you like to see. Even Terrier chipped in. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you here just to see the last of the stats. If you enjoyed the video, can you please comment, like, subscribe. If you're new, it'll be much appreciated. Thank you for watching. It's been Jamie, and goodbye.